Hey guys, it's Theo here from Rex Bowling Ball Reviews, and today we're going to show you how to install a JoPo Grips interchangeable thumb system outer. Alright guys, so why JoPo Grips? What is with the hype? Well, for one, they don't break. These things are super strong, and it's incredible the amount of times I've used them, and like literally I could just drop a brick on that thing and it's not going to break. Pretty impressive. I have used all three of the thumb systems in the past. I've used Turbo, I've used Vice, and of course now currently using JoPo Grips. If you haven't had a chance to, guys, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel so we can keep providing you guys with amazing content. You might also be asking, what the heck? Theo's two-handed. What the heck is he doing? Yes, guys, I'm going back to one-handed because I can. I had some issues with the two-handed game, and I tried bowling one-handed, and it felt really good again, better than it was before. So I will be explaining that process in another video. Also, I want to give a huge shout-out to Jerry Penksa and JoPo Grips for literally providing this amazing product and also just being awesome. If you guys haven't had a chance, go to the link in the description below. Takes you to the JoPo Grips website where you can reach out to JoPo at info@jopogrips.com on any questions you may have regarding the interchangeable thumb system. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the JoPo system in general. So, with the JoPo system, it has an interchangeable locking mechanism that was made by Jerry Penksa himself. And with the outers, which is fantastic, they actually have 10 different colors. They have purple, orange, blue, black, white, pink, green, and yellow. So, and red as well. Don't forget that one. So with all these different colors, you can pretty much have what you want. Pretty sweet, right? So I don't have all of the colors right now. I do have some of the colors. For instance, this is a blue outer. This is a red outer. So today I'm going to be drilling a Motive Forge Ember as well to show you guys how are we going to install this. What are some of the steps to take to properly put in one of these sleeves? I do have some pre-made thumbs already from when I bowled one-handed before, so I'll be using those as a demonstration and also making sure that you guys drilled the right pitch, and I'll explain a little bit of that as well. Alright, let's dive in. Alright, I would say obviously the first step in doing anything is, obviously knowing your PAP, getting your layout set. So for me, this is a 60 by 5 1/4 by 35 layout based on my PAP as a one-hander, which is 4.5 over and a 1/2 inch up. So have it lined up, got the span all done, right, and all that. So right here, that's where you would line it up. Now, something that I want to make sure everyone knows, this is a step one, so what are you drilling your pitch at? That's super, super important. You drill your inner at the same exact pitch as your outer. Now, you can experiment, I would say, with like a quarter leeway in every direction, right? If you're trying to, like, maybe you drill your inner at 0 and your thumb is 0, 0. Let's say that maybe you wanted to come out the ball a little bit faster. You could probably get away with drilling another one of these inside of the sleeve at like an 1/8 left, 1/8 reverse, or whatever, and you can actually modify that. But again, for best practice, I'm going to go with my pitch as a one-hander, which is a quarter reverse and a quarter left. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I actually put the thumb sleeve right here. So we're going to go ahead, pop it on the press and see what that looks like. Another thing to mention, guys, is having the right bit. That's super, super important with drilling the JoPo thumbs. I do know there are some shops that have utilized like the turbo bit to do it, but I wouldn't recommend that. I recommend reaching out to JoPo, getting your starter kit and getting that 1.5 bit at the right depth, so that way you can drill your thumb perfect and have no problems at all. I also wanted to show you guys my pitches, right? So my pitch gauge here, you can't really see that, but that's quarter reverse, and that is a quarter left. And that is the JoPo bit that is installed on the press. So this is my press. I got it from somebody on Facebook. Works just dandy for me. Okay, so we're gonna set this on here. So a couple things I do recommend. If you're afraid that your press is gonna shake, because mine does that sometimes. I just take the system here, right, and these knobs, and I just tighten literally everything really, really, really tight, so that way there is no shaking and there's no variance. That way the hole goes down smooth. You don't want to like do this and go really fast, right? This is a big bit. you know, a lot of that bowling ball is getting taken out, so you got to be very careful. So the step here is, you know, obviously getting everything lined up, making sure that, you know, this thing right here is lined up right on the end, so you hit your span just right. And of course, you know, the span stuff, that's a whole separate instance, but guys, I'm just showing you how to install one of these thumbs. Also, a little house hack thing I learned as well. I used a razor blade here, and then I could just kind of see, you know, where it's lined up. So here, of course, I got more room to go forward. All right, so that looks pretty spot on. Let's clamp her down. Make sure she's good. All right, let's get drilling. One thing I want to keep in mind to you guys, you want to get this bit and you want to go all the way down until the very top of this bit touches that bowling ball. Trust me, you don't want to go and then not go all the way down, you're going to regret it. Alright, so now that this thumb is finished, nice and smooth, the hole's good, you know. And by the way, guys, hope you guys enjoy this video. This is the first time I've really gone this deep into something, so trying my best with the camera angles. It's just me here at the shop at my house. So, alright, so realistically, this should just be able to just drop right in. Okay, cool. But you're thinking, well, if it drops right in, how the heck are you going to be able to glue that thing, right? It's super slippery. Well, and it will stick up a little bit, right? And of course, that is when you take your, I do this, you know, I just take this plug cutter and I put it on the press, and then I put the stopper down at the depth that it's supposed to be, and you cut it down, which we'll get to that in a second. But now, best thing that I do for this situation, so grab a really, really rugged piece of sandpaper. You take the outside, let me make sure we're in the camera here. So you take the outside of this, you just go to town, just make that rugged. So those friction points on these outers, right, that'll get the glue to set properly, and it'll kind of expand. Think in physics, the friction makes it expand. You'll notice when I put this back in, the thumb will be a little bit slower going in. And then when I glue the inside of the thumb, it should go perfect. And it should be able to stick with no issues. Alright, cool. So that's all pretty rugged, right? So we did that. Watch this. Just a little bit more rugged, so it's fine. But, you know, those with you sanding this outer sleeve, what it's going to do is, I can sand it a little bit more, what it's going to do is this friction points is going to open up the pores and allow for the glue to seep in actually really, really well. So what I like to do, sure we have a hole here. Yeah, I'm sure any pro shop operators watching this are probably laughing, saying, oh my god, Theo and his pro shop. But, you know, what I like to do with this glue, right, is just kind of go on the top here, on the outside, you know, make sure, don't go up too high. I mean, I just kind of go down here. Let it go down, give it a little love, and some glue. So in these JoPo outers, you're going to see this little line here on the actual outer. You want that to be right on that line of where your T-grip is there. See that yellow line? Right at the base of that thumb, right at the bottom. Boom. Sweet. So that is in perfectly straight based on this line here. And you're noticing too, it's like up a little bit different. It's because of the pitch in the thumb. So please keep in mind when you're drilling this. So now what we do is we let this sit for 10 minutes.
2,000 years later.
Alright, while that glue's kind of seeping in and making sure that outer is good, so I want to show you guys a little house hack, you know, just to make sure that when you go down, you cut down the top of that outer, that you don't kind of go in and start digging it on the ball. This is just, you know, my press has the ability to do this, right? So you see this, I have it 0-0'd, flush from the ball. Okay, cool. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I showing you this? Well, there is a piece here, and I'll bring out my camera. So this is a stopper here that actually can tell you, you know, how far you go before you actually cut into the ball. And this could actually make it so that, you know, when you're drilling, you're not going too deep. So for instance, so if I go down, right there is where the ball, that's the surface of the ball. So I take this little piece here, press on it, go down. Kind of forces me. I go up maybe just a little bit. So go about right there. So what that does, you know, is it forces me not to hit the ball or anything. Just a precautionary measure. So just wanted to show you guys that as a little cheat trick. All right, guys. So now that the glue is nice and dry, this thing's in here really snug. So now we're going to go ahead and cut this down. So make sure your press is 0-0. You know, that way you're cutting down and you're not slicing into the bowling ball. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so now you can see it'll kind of right off the press there. See how there's a little bit of that stuff kind of sticking out. So what I typically do is use a razor blade, or I just grab this bevel knife. Okay, just make sure that's good. So if we keep any of these things kind of lingering, there's a possibility you're going to put your thumb in, right, and it's going to end up sticking or have gunk, you know. Try to stay on the top there. That's pretty good. Alright, so moment of truth here. Let's see. So this thumb, pretty sure it's quarter left, quarter reverse, but let's give it a whirl. Thumb in here. Click. There she be. Ta-da! So notice how this thumb is nice and flush. It's not sticking out anywhere. It's because, you know, when I drilled this ball, when this, like for instance, it's quarter left, quarter reverse, and this inner is also drilled at a quarter left, quarter reverse. Now let me show you guys something. So let me see if I have a thumb that's like not the same pitch. So I believe this was actually drilled with a different inner or outer pitch. So you guys can kind of see right here. See how that's sticking up? Right? So that tells you that this inner was drilled at a different pitch than this outer. So that's a great explanation. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to install this JoPo outer. Alright guys, so there you have it. There is the video on how to install a JoPo outer. This is kind of like one of my first instructional videos where I'm using the camera and trying to show you guys a bunch of stuff. So again, really simple. You know, I really appreciate everything from JoPo grips. You guys are awesome. If you use JoPo, you know, comment below. Tell us what you love most about JoPo products. You know, let me know if you want me to do more of these videos, and pretty soon maybe we can do a video on installing the thumb and the inner and how that works as well. Oh, and don't forget, right? Best click on the market, JoPo grips.